Thank you for joining Mama D. Guess what? I got a word for you. We're going to go to the Old Testament, the 1 Kings, and we're going to go to the 17th chapter there. And we're going to begin with the 2nd verse, and it reads like this. And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook of Cherith, and that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. You know, Elijah was a prophet of God, and he had just spoke a word from the Lord to the evil, wicked king Ahab, where they had relied on this false god and believed that this false god was the one that provided the rain and caused the crops to grow. Well, Elijah had a word from the Lord, who was more powerful, who was the real, true, and living God, and had spoke to King Ahab and told him that there would be a famine. You know, famines are really, it's a great crisis for a nation. Famine is where, crops can't grow because there's no rain. Cattle die because there's no rain. And guess what? People die because there's no rain. There's a shortage of food because there's no rain. So when they got this word, they got it from the Lord, because we know God was trying to show Ahab and them that he was greater than that God, the false God that they believed in. They believed and relied and put their trust in a false God to provide for them. But God did showed us in this lesson here how God told the prophet Elijah to go to the brook of Cherith, and he told him to stay there. And he said, in the midst of the famine, he said, I'm going to feed you flesh, and I'm going to give you bread, and I'm going to let you drink from the river, from the brook of Cherith 2 times a day. God sent the ravens, and they said the ravens brought him flesh and brought him bread, and Elijah drank from the brook of Cherith. In the evening time, God provided again, and he sent the ravens, and he with bread and with flesh, and Elijah drank from the brook of Cherith again. In the midst of a famine, in a dry time, in a dry place, when the nation was going through its suffering famine, God took care of the prophet Elijah. Not only did he do that, but he sent us also a widow woman, and he sent in Elijah's path. And God provided again. After the brook